Spring Training 3, Part 3. The Mayan hero twins and their game of death. In the ch.3 Mayan Popol Vuh, the hero twins suggest the same genetic activity of two viral protein teams that descend into the underworld to play a combination soccer basketball with the gods. One twin is decapitated but saved by resurrection from the dead and ascension to the stars. As in Egypt, the oldest twin is reborn as a chemiluminescent morning star, just as in Egyptian, early Chinese, and Navajo texts, while the other becomes associated with the full moon. The game itself deteriorated into a battle for life and death similar to the one described by Sir James George Frazer between the old king and the new king in the Golden Bowl. At Chichen Itza, scenes of human sacrifice decorate the walls, which is really true because I just saw them recently, in which the winning players decapitate the losers. The mythopoeic game mirrors the Egyptian brother rivalry of Seth and Horus, that is, lambda C1 protein for Lysogeny versus crow protein for Lysis Horus. As mentioned, the proteins battled over control of two promoters, series operator sequences, or gene seats, determining lysogeny or lysis. Crow and C1 are produced from opposing transcripts that both originate from the right operator region. The different protein levels vary as measured by number of protein molecules in each concentration, while lambda switches through 40 possible gene states. Like a basketball game, Crow and C1 battle to produce protein molecules, which are the balls, within a binding process guided by funneled energy landscapes, basins of attraction or baskets. Lambda C1 forms via the induced fit mechanism, whereas Crow uses the fly casting mechanism, which might be compared to a slam dunk versus a jump shot. Proteins exist in the cell as part of multi-component assemblies, a higher order network of interacting protein complexes, what one might call a team. Molecules have form, function, and fluctuation in the same way that players have a formation, task, and ability to change formations and tasks. Like balls into baskets, protein molecules are produced in random bursts of protein copy number increases. In fact, the entire game or random burst activity is determined by the number of balls replicated in basket, just like the C1 versus Crow protein molecules competition for operator sequences determining lysogeny or lysis, a viral DNA binding battle from which sports warfare arose. The viral DNA binding battle may also be our biological motivation for war, a disconcerting thought considering human attraction to sports warfare. Again, in the edifice of Taharka, the viral genome is symbolized by the artwork of two arms stretched out like Christ's stance on the cross. On the other hand, the sign of the Egyptian Ka is two arms stretched up to the sky. This indicates the ascension of the dead king into the heavens and the king's transformation into the golden child Horus, who embraces the cosmos in a quantum of crystallized light. The two upward arms represent both arms of lambda genome enabled for its full function. The brothers Horus and Seth are reconciled, for both proteins are cooperating in a binding process that is necessary for replication to occur. And so, the deceased king, as the transformed golden child Horus, has chemically embraced the cosmos by means of the two arms of lambda genome that connote a quantum experience of cosmic unity at the origin of space-time. Today, microbiologists also speak of lambda's two arms that function for the competing lifestyles of lysogeny, ruled by C1 protein, and lysis, ruled by CRO protein. In the isosthesis interpretation, ancient Egyptian references to arms and artwork depicting arms are signs of lambda genome, DNA or gene, and protein, while upward arms point to the joint function of the left arm of Seth, cooperating with the right arm of Horus for the transformation of the dead king. What is ascendant for continuity of mind and DNA in the lifestyle of lysis ruled by CRO protein that is facilitated by the cooperative interaction of C1 protein. So the brothers Hars, CRO, and Seth, C1, cooperate peacefully, and this is the genetic secret of the two partners at the Egyptian said festival. The said festival from the Old Kingdom to 2520 to 2360 BCE. At the said festival, the opening rites in honor of the bull goddess Hathor involved the procession of king following four standards from temple to temple. According to Joseph Campbell, in the middle of this ritual, the king disappears into the palace chapel, reappearing with his right hand holding a flail scepter and his left hand holding a small scroll called the will, the house document or secret of the two partners. The king then states, I have run holding the secret of the two partners, the will that my father has given me before Geb. I have passed through the land and touched the four sides of it. I traverse it as I desire. With the ancient king's description of his home run, the game of baseball between two teams is the perfect medium to explore the argument for and against the isosthesis. The evidence suggests that the game originated in Egypt to explain the ancient gene expression network of bacteriophage lambda and its E. coli host, where the genetic switch to lysis activated by the light requires the cooperation of two repressor proteins that allow the dead king's transformation for continuity of mind in the cosmos as morning star, that is, a quasi-hybrid being described as crystallized mind. In the least corrupted pyramid and coffin text, this secret knowledge of life beyond death at the molecular level of DNA was carved into the pyramids of the pharaohs and on the bottoms of the tombs of the nobility. This genetic knowledge, which with ritual provided the pharaohs and nobility with a godlike spiritual experience, and so the knowledge was glorified and humans were elevated as deities. An hypothesis that was reserved for the pharaohs and their elite hieratic priesthood. Following the instructions in this hidden network of signs describing an ancient gene expression pathway, the deceased king became a member of a potent noble dead. The science provided Egyptian pharaohs and their priesthood with answers to profound ontological questions, such as who are we, is there life after death, and how does our universe function? Buried in pyramids and tombs for centuries, the wisdom of the Egyptian elite remained masked, even though Jean Francois Champollion cracked the code for Egyptian hieroglyphs in 1822. Although this event was an advanced 19th and 20th century scholars struggled with little success to interpret the hidden meanings of the hieroglyphs and the artwork. Although the 20th century exploded with the counter-intuitional magic of quantum mechanics, traditional Egyptologists still view the ancient Egyptian text as primitive, confusing, and unintelligible. Today, quantum mechanics and quantum biology can explain the problematic Egyptologists encounter in the funerary texts and rituals. New science is the magnifying glass to interpret the quantum mysteries of the least corrupted genetic texts. This strategy reveals that the action of the deities are signs defining the ancient gene expression network of the creator virus Lambda in its bacterial host E. coli. This gene or ancient gene expression network is the glycolysis fermentation pathway, also known as the maltose transport system. The pharaonic priesthood believed that this ancient chemical pathway would allow continuity of mind and DNA at a human death transition. That is, if the person had knowledge about the ancient viral gene expression network for transformation into a morning star, what can be described as the crystallized emergence of a cold, light, quasi hybrid being. This brings us to the end of spring training on chapter 3 of Balls of Fire. When we return, we will be quoting Mickey Mantle. Oh, that's not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it clear here. Come on, make it clear. Oh yeah, Mickey Mantle. We're gonna quote Mickey Mantle. I'm gonna be at spring training for the Christian Mass at Hagia Sophia. All right, peace. I'll catch up with you guys later.